Tracker Basics. In this Mastery Connect training video, you will learn how to create Mastery trackers, navigate the Mastery tracker, and understand the key menu options. Bulk tracker creation. From the homepage in Mastery Connect, users are prompted to create their Mastery trackers. Depending on your district's settings, the prompt in the box may look different. The first prompt we will review is the bulk tracker creation prompt. This allows teachers to quickly and efficiently create their trackers. Choose the subject areas you teach and select Next. Now, under each subject area, select the class from each drop-down. Note, if you teach various grade levels or topics within a subject, you can select more than one class from the drop-downs. When you have filled in all the fields, select Next. If your district has designated curriculum maps for any course, they will be available to select in this step. In this example, kindergarten math only has one curriculum map designated, so it is auto-selected. For science and other subjects, there are no curriculum maps available. Select Next. The last step is to select the appropriate sections for each tracker. This step is necessary for institutions that sync Mastery Connect with a student information system. Select the appropriate section for each class. The section titles are determined by your student information system. If you are unclear which section should be tied to a class, reach out to your administrator. Once all of the appropriate selections have been made, select Create Tracker. Trackers will be created all at once based on your previous selections. To modify the tracker title, the color associated with the tracker, or any other details, select the More Options menu in the top right corner of each tracker. Select Edit. The description field is the title of your Mastery tracker. This description will be displayed to admins, colleagues, students, and parents. The folder color can be modified, and this can help keep your home screen organized. You can add colleagues to the tracker as needed using the Add Collaborator option. Lastly, if you need to link the tracker to a different section, you can do so here. After making any changes, select Update. Creating Mastery trackers individually. From the home page in Mastery Connect, users are prompted to create their Mastery trackers. The prompt displayed in this example is the individual tracker creation. This is the experience users will have when a district does not toggle on the district-approved standards feature, which enables bulk tracker creation. Users with either bulk tracker creation or with individual tracker creation will both have the ability to create new individual trackers from the More Options menu. Select the subject area from the drop-down menu. Select the appropriate core or set of standards. If the standard set you are looking for is not listed, you can select Show All Cores. You will now have a list of classes to choose from. These classes are based on the subject and core selected previously. If there are any available curriculum maps that have either been shared to teachers or created by you, those maps will display here. Select the appropriate curriculum map if available. If there are no curriculum maps, you can proceed to the next step. Next, you will add a description to the tracker. This is the title of the tracker and will be displayed to admin, colleagues, students, and parents. Note, when creating a description for a tracker, consider using a consistent naming convention. For example, you may name your tracker in this format: school year, course, grade level, teacher last name, class period, if applicable. Having a consistent and clear description for each tracker will make data analysis easier. Add a folder color by entering a color hex code or by using the color selector. Lastly, you will select how to add students to the Mastery tracker. You can add students individually, import students from a CSV file, copy students from another tracker or class, or import students from SIS. Importing students from SIS, or Student Information System, is the most commonly used method. If you are not sure what method to use, reach out to your administrator. If using the Import Students from SIS, you will then be prompted to select the appropriate section to import. Select the appropriate section to link to the tracker. The section titles are based on the student information system, so if you are unsure what section to select, reach out to your administrator. After selecting all of the information, select Create. You will be taken to the newly created tracker. To create additional trackers as needed, return to the home page and repeat the process. Navigating the Mastery Tracker. Current and active trackers are listed on the home page of Mastery Connect. Any tracker you created or that you are a collaborator on will display in this list. To access any archived trackers, select the More options in the top right corner and select Archive Trackers. The home page will display a brief overview of information for each tracker. Details such as students to support and active benchmark assessments will be easily seen here. In order to view a specific Mastery tracker, select the name of the tracker that you wish to view. This view is called the Tracker Overview. Think of it as your tracker's home base. There are two tabs on the Tracker Overview page, Students and Assessments. The Students tab displays a sortable student roster down the left and the list of standards and assessments across the top. Additionally, there are menu options on the top right that will be discussed in more detail later in this video. Assessments can be accessed by selecting the Assessment tab. Assessments in the draft state will always display at the top of the list, and by default, the assessments are in the Group by Standards view. Open the drop-down to change the view of assessments to a list view or grouped by unit. The list view is a great way to easily access assessment reports, grading assessment responses when needed, view the assessment in the tracker, remove assessments from a tracker, or view an assessment as a student. Note: instructors cannot delete benchmark assessments. Benchmark assessments must be managed by administrators. To return to view the full list of trackers, select Home. Tracker menu options. There are 6 menu buttons located at the top right of the tracker. They are Students, Trackers, Analytics, Tools and Accommodations, Settings, and the More menu. Selecting the student icon allows you to filter your tracker based on demographic data for your students, such as gender, race, and ethnicity. By default, all the boxes in these categories are checked to show you all students in your tracker. The fourth filter type, Groups, allows you to filter based on FRL, IEP, or ELL status. Checking these boxes will show only students with those SIS labels. Note: the demographic information is based on data provided by your school or by your district. The ability to see student performance based on different demographic groups on the main tracker screen provides an excellent way to understand and prioritize student needs across all standards being assessed. Sorting student performance data by student demographic provides insights that can enable more targeted instructional strategies, helping educators make data-informed decisions and create an inclusive and supportive learning environment. To clear changes and return to the default display options, select the Restore Default button. To save your changes, select the Save button. To open the Tracker display menu, select the tracker icon. This allows customization on which assessment types, units, or standards are displayed on the tracker. This is an excellent way to view the standards or unit that is currently being assessed, or power standards that you may want to focus on. The Analytics button will direct users to their overview dashboard. This is covered in Module 11. To configure the tools and accommodations available to students in Enhanced Accommodation Assessments, select the Tools and Accommodations icon. By default, Include Question Level Tools is checked, and it is recommended that this setting stays on. This will include tools from specific item bank questions designed to help students answer the question appropriately. Language and speech accommodation settings for item-based assessments can also be configured. These options are discussed in more detail later in this module. Note: These tools only work with item bank questions and item authored assessments with the EA label, indicating they support enhanced assessments. To open the settings menu, select the settings icon. Here, adjust the settings for your tracker display view, student and parent portals, and proficiency calculations. In the display scores menu, you can adjust how your tracker displays in your own account. If a student has been assessed in the same standard across multiple trackers, you can hide or display the scores from the other trackers by selecting the Other Trackers checkbox. For example, if a student moves from a teacher's third period math class to your third period math class, you would see the data on the most recent assessment displayed in the tracker overview if the Other Trackers option was selected. Once you assess that student, the other score is replaced in your tracker with the newest current score. To hide or display scores from students that are no longer in your class, select the Former Students checkbox. Note: to display scores from archived trackers, you need to first unarchive the tracker. Based on permissions set by district and school admins, you may or may not have the ability to manage the proficiency calculation used to determine mastery. Reference the Mastery Connect community guides or contact your administrator for more information. The last of the menu buttons is the More Options menu. Here you can access your item bank, standards, reporting, people, curriculum maps, and support resources. To learn more about these options, reference the appropriate Mastery Connect community guides and modules in this course. Trainer tip: you can change tracker level settings to set the default for all new assessments in the tracker, but settings can still be adjusted on the individual assessment level. For example, you may choose not to allow students to view the assessment until all students have completed the assessment. So, in the default setting, you would not display the assessments. However, once students have completed the assessment, you may choose to adjust the privacy settings on the individual assessment to allow students and parents to view the assessment.